We spent 3 days in Australia's Outback, road tripping through Uluru, Kata Tjuta and Kings Canyon. Along the way, we spotted native wildlife across the desert, but the biggest surprise came at Uluru, where the region saw its heaviest rainfall in over 10 years, turning the red centre to something we never expected. Uluru sits in the heart of Australia, surrounded by thousands of kilometres of desert. Despite its remote location, it's surprisingly accessible. Just a short drive from the rock is Ayers Rock Airport, with direct flights from major cities like Melbourne and Sydney. We flew in from Melbourne with the journey taking around 2.5 hours. As soon as we landed, we picked up the keys to our rental car and hit the road. The roads here are fully sealed and smooth, so a small car is more than enough if you're sticking to just the main parks. But for more remote adventures beyond the main roads, a 4-wheel drive is essential. Within 20 minutes of leaving the airport, we arrived at Uluru Kata Tjuta National Park. Even from a distance, you're treated to incredible views of the famous rock, and as you drive closer, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. To access the national park, there's a park entrance fee of $38 Australian per person, which covers you for 3 days. Just near the park entrance, there's a parking area known as the Uluru Sunset Viewing Area. It's a perfect place to stop and take in your first proper view of the rock, without having to focus on the road. This was our first stop of the day, and even though it was only 10 AM and this spot is far more popular at sunset, coming here in the morning turned out to be a great decision, as we had the entire viewing area all to ourselves. Stepping outside of the car, this was our first real encounter with the huge swarms of flies in the area. We definitely weren't prepared for just how many there were. It was incredibly annoying and hard to ignore any time we were outside. We quickly noticed that a lot of people were wearing fly net hats, which in hindsight is definitely something we'd bring next time. After leaving the sunset viewing area, we continued our drive closer to the rock, making our way towards the many walking trails that surround it. The main walk in the area is the Uluru Base Walk, which loops around the entire rock. In total, it covers around 10.6 kilometres, taking you past a number of significant landmarks along the way. The walk here is mostly flat, making it much easier than some of the trails over at nearby Kata Tjuta. When we were here in the morning, it was quite cloudy, so the rock didn't have that bright red glow. But on the plus side, it also meant the temperature was a lot more comfortable. If you're not up for the full 10.6 kilometre walk, there's a shorter section called the Mallow Walk, at just over 1 kilometre in length. It forms part of the base walks but takes you past several key features. Around these sites you'll see signage that provides information of the culture and importance of these areas. What you see on the screen here is one of the highlights of the area, and a culturally significant site for Indigenous Australians, known as the Men's Cave. Also nearby is the Kitchen Cave, another culturally significant site along the trail. Not all areas of the trail allow filming. Some sections are considered culturally sensitive, and therefore no photos or videos are permitted. There's clear signage throughout the walk indicating these zones, so it's important to keep an eye out while you're walking to make sure you're not filming in a restricted area. We were here in March, and what we didn't expect was just how much greenery there is in the area. From the grasses to the leaves on the trees, there's an incredible amount of life here. Another interesting fact about Uluru is that prior to 2019, visitors were actually allowed to climb the rock. However, this was always strongly discouraged by the traditional owners due to its deep cultural and spiritual significance. In 2019, climbing Uluru was officially closed, marking an important moment in recognizing and respecting the wishes of the Anangu people. Today, visitors are encouraged to experience the site through the base walk and cultural viewpoints instead. Most of the back section of the base walk is a restricted area for filming, so we'll now take you past that section and towards the end of the trail, which is non-restricted. Along this part of the trail, you'll come across sections known as the Kunia Walk and the Liru Walk. Nearby, there's also a cultural centre where you can learn more about the region's history, traditions, and the stories that have shaped this land for thousands of years. Along the side of the trail lies the Mutijulu waterhole, a sacred and permanent water source. When it's been raining, this is a prime area where you'll see water cascades falling off the rock and into the waterhole. In total, the walk took us around 2.5 hours to complete. We took it at a slower pace, taking time to take in the views, read the information signs, and stop at the various landmarks along the trail. After completing the base walk, we began our drive to Kings Canyon, where we stayed overnight. The journey took around 3 hours, and along the way we spotted several Australian wild animals. Camels aren't actually native to Australia. They were introduced in the 19th century as a source of transportation by Afghan cameleers. Today, however, Australia is home to the world's largest population of wild camels. During our drive, it started to rain, and with the cooler temperatures, more animals were active throughout the day. That's when we spotted this dingo along the road. Dingoes are native to Australia and have played a key role in keeping ecosystems balanced. They are considered the country's top land predator and can therefore be extremely aggressive if confronted. Another animal introduced to Australia is the wild horse, commonly known as brumbies, which now roam freely in large numbers. Brumbies were brought to Australia by European settlers and are now considered feral animals, often impacting native ecosystems. Also along the drive to Kings Canyon, we came across multiple cattle on the road. This region is home to several large cattle stations, which are a major source of beef for Australia and the world. After just over an hour on the road, we made a stop at Curtin Springs Station, the only rest stop along the 300-kilometre stretch between Uluru and Kings Canyon, with food supplies, a restaurant and fuel. Before and after Curtin Springs is just pure outback. No towns, no houses and no stores. Just endless nature stretching in every direction. That's why if you're driving between Uluru and Kings Canyon, Curtin Springs is a must-stop to avoid running low on fuel or going hungry along the way. There are also camping and accommodation options here, making it a key base in the region. We stopped here for a quick lunch before hitting the road again, with another 2-hour drive ahead to Kings Canyon. Just past Curtin Springs Station, a uniquely shaped rock formation appears in the distance. This is Mount Connor, often mistaken for Uluru by travellers heading in the opposite direction, earning it the nickname Fuluru. What sets Mount Connor apart from Uluru is its flat-topped shape. It sits on a privately owned cattle station, so it isn't open to the public and can only be viewed from a distance. At the viewing point, there's a small rest stop here, with a few seats to take a break and enjoy the view. There's also a water tank here used for storage. It's non-drinking water kept for essential use, as water is scarce in the desert. The drive from Uluru to Kings Canyon is very straightforward. It involves just two main roads. You start on Lasseter Highway, which takes you out of Uluru for 200 kilometers. Then you turn down Luricha Road. As we got closer to the end of our drive, we noticed a few off-road trails branching off the main road. We decided to pull over and take a closer look for a bit. By 5:30 in the afternoon, we arrived at our accommodation for the night, stopping at Kings Creek Station. This is a working cattle station located just over 30 kilometers from Kings Canyon National Park. It offers a range of different accommodation styles, and from here, you can even catch a glimpse of the outskirts of Kings Canyon in the distance. At Kings Canyon, you've got a few different options, from free camping to basic stays, or even luxury glamping tents. There's also an on-site restaurant along with snacks available if you need something quick. We chose to stay in the basic tents, which were clean and offered a true Outback experience. To stay in these tents, we paid 190 Australian dollars. If you're after something more luxurious, prices jump quite significantly, ranging from around $500 to $1,000 per night. Towards the early evening, the rain started to get fairly heavy, which doesn't often happen in this area. We grabbed dinner at the restaurant, which offered a range of steaks and even camel burgers before settling in for a relaxing night. On day 2, we woke up early ready to hike Kings Canyon, but overnight heavy rain had poured down for hours, and as soon as we stepped outside our tent, we were met with flooded grounds all around us. We later found out this wasn't just bad luck, it was actually the heaviest rainfall the region had seen in over 10 years, with over 150 millimeters falling in just 12 hours. The restaurant at Kings Creek Station offers breakfast with your stay, but getting there that morning was a challenge as we had to make our way through muddy, waterlogged paths. After trying to find the best route without getting too wet, we quickly realized that plan was completely impossible. By the time we finally made it to the restaurant for breakfast, we were absolutely drenched. During breakfast, the staff at Kings Creek Station told us that several cars on the road from Uluru to Kings Canyon had been getting bogged in the wet sand that had washed onto the road. Unfortunately, can't go to Kings Canyon because of the rain, so we're heading 3 hours back to Uluru. We hope we don't get bogged because it is flash flooding. So instead of attempting the Kings Canyon rim walk, which was the main reason we had driven out this way, we had to make the decision to turn back and head straight to Uluru. The forecast was calling for flash flooding over the next 3 days, and if we didn't leave that morning, we risked being stuck at Kings Creek Station until the road dried out. Once you leave Kings Creek and the Kings Canyon area, there's very little to no reception along the 3-hour drive, so if you do get stuck on the road, getting assistance can be extremely difficult. Even though the roads are sealed, red sand can still get blown and washed onto the surface during windy and wet conditions. This can make driving extremely difficult, especially without a 4-wheel drive. For the most part, the roads were in good condition. There were a few muddy sections along the way, but we took our time and managed to get through them safely. While we were disappointed not to complete the Kings Canyon Rimwalk, we were relieved to make it back to the Uluru area. Because we took our time, the journey back ended up taking a little longer than usual. Another positive of the drive is the amount of wildlife we saw along the way. Around the Uluru Kata Tjuta National Park area, there's a town called Yulara. It was purposely built to support tourism around Uluru. It features a range of hotels, restaurants, and activities centered around a small town square. It seemed like the rain had followed us to Yulara, with flooding beginning to set in across the town. The town square soon became covered in large pooling puddles. Unfortunately, the rain made it difficult to really walk around the area. However, we came back the next day and noticed just how well organised the town was, offering everything you need. In total, over 800 people live in Yulara, made up of both workers who have moved here for employment and local indigenous communities from nearby areas. The town was built in the 1980s to support tourism and relocate old accommodation away from Uluru itself. Yulara is about a 20-minute drive from the base of the rock, creating a more sustainable and organised tourism hub. As we couldn't do much because of the rain, we went to the local cafe, Kulata Academy Cafe, which also supports and provides employment opportunities for local communities. We then stopped by one of the restaurants in the town square called Gecko Restaurant. There are other dining options available across the different hotels in the area, outside the town square. Within the town square, there's also a local grocery store where you can stock up on any essentials you might need. After lunch, the town actually had to shut down for a period due to the extensive flooding. At 3 p.m, it was time to check into our accommodation for the night, staying at the Outback Lodge. As mentioned before, Yulara has several accommodation options in the area. While they vary in style and standard, they are all part of the same management group, called the Ayers Rock Resort. Each lodge and hotel offers a different level of comfort and amenities. By 4 p.m, the rain had surprisingly cleared, so we decided to hit the road and drive the 20 minutes to Uluru, hoping to catch the rock with waterfalls flowing after the rain. Although it rarely rains around Uluru, when it does, it creates a rare sight. Water from the rainfall pools on top of the rock and flows over the edges, forming temporary waterfalls. It's said that only 1% of visitors ever get to witness this. By this point, rainfall in the area had reached nearly 200 millimeters in just 24 hours, almost the entire yearly average for Uluru, which typically sees only around 300 millimeters of rain per year. As we drove closer to the rock, we could see several waterfalls flowing down its sides. We decided to head back to the base walk, which was the same trail we did on day one. This time though, it felt like a completely different experience. Everywhere you looked, you could see waterfall cascades flowing down the rock. Waterfalls here don't last long after the rain stops. In the hot, arid conditions around Uluru, water quickly evaporates and soaks into the ground, drying out the landscape in a surprisingly short time. Evaporation rates in this part of Australia can be up to 10 times higher than other parts of the land. As you can see, the paths here were extremely muddy and wet. Some sections of the trail were even closed, so we couldn't complete the full 10-kilometer loop. Having said that, because the rock is so big and wide, the open sections of the trail still gave us plenty of space to explore. The rock of Uluru stands at 358 meters high, with its total circumference of around 10 kilometers. After walking for a while, the sky slowly began to open up, revealing our first glimpses of blue for the day. Around us, the sound of wildlife became more noticeable. The recent rainfall had left the trails unusually quiet, making the experience feel even more peaceful and serene. So although the rain had initially disrupted our plans, it turned out to still be an adventurous day, giving us the chance to see the Australian Outback and Uluru in the wet. To end the day, we headed to the sunset viewing area, hoping to catch the classic Uluru sunset experience. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case as the clouds rolled back in. For our final day in the Red Centre, we went to Kata Tjuta, which is located about 40 kilometers out from Uluru. Beforehand though, we departed our room early in the morning to watch a sunrise over Uluru. There is a dedicated section of the park to catch the best sunrise over the rock, called the Uluru Sunrise Viewing Area. This section is separate and on the opposite side of the rock to the sunset viewing area. As expected, mornings here are filled with people trying to get a glimpse of the sun shining on the rock. Unfortunately, on the morning we were here, it wasn't the best sunrise due to the clouds. Nevertheless, it was still a great way to start the day. Shortly afterwards, we made our way to Kata Tjuta. Although it's all within the same national park, the drive to Kata Tjuta is over 30 minutes from the Uluru Sunrise Viewing Area. As you get closer, there's a dedicated Kata Tjuta Dune Viewing Area. There's a small car park here, and from there it's just a short walk up to the viewing platform. Kata Tjuta is also known as the Olgas. It's made up of 36 large domed rock formations spread across a wide area. These formations are estimated to be over 500 million years old, formed through long geological processes of erosion and uplift. This viewing area was great, however there were so many flies around. Throughout our whole trip, this spot by far had the most flies. As we left the viewing area, we continued our drive towards Kata Tjuta. Getting closer to the site, you start to really notice how massive these formations are. Another thing that stood out is the evaporation after the rain. Along the road, all the water from the previous day had completely disappeared, leaving the desert dry again almost overnight. The best walk to do here is the Valley of the Winds walk. It's a loop trail that takes you right into the heart of Kata Tjuta, weaving between the massive domed rock formations. The track starts off fairly easy, but quickly becomes more rugged as you head deeper into the valley. The full loop is around 7.5 kilometers, and because of the trail's difficulty, it can take over 3 hours to complete. It can get very hot here, and there are no toilets along the track, so it's important to be prepared beforehand. Starting early is essential, especially in the hotter months between October and April. As the day heats up, conditions here can become extreme. In fact, if temperatures exceed 36 degrees, sections of the trail will close, sometimes as early as 11 in the morning. Due to the rain from the previous day, the temperatures in the morning when we were here were pretty good. It was in the mid-20s. It was a sharp contrast from the previous days when we were checking the forecast, as it was always in the high 30s. Having cooler temperatures made the trail far more enjoyable. This was easily our preferred trail compared to the Uluru base walk. Walking between the massive domes and through the valley itself was something special. Surprisingly though, this track isn't as popular as the base walk. An interesting fact is that of the 36 domes at Kata Tjuta, the tallest is Mount Olga, standing at 546 meters high, making it nearly 200 meters taller than Uluru itself. We've now reached the middle part of the walk, and this is where you're right in the heart of the valley. To our surprise, there's actually quite a lot of greenery and plant life here. It feels unexpectedly lush in parts, especially surrounded by the towering domes that rise around the edges. Once we were in the valley, we took a moment to stop, rest, and listen to the quiet sound of the water flowing through it. As mentioned earlier, this is where the trail becomes far more challenging, so a reasonable level of fitness is needed. From this point, some hikers do choose to turn back. Because the first part of the trail is downhill, this is where the uphill section begins. Nevertheless though, the stunning scenery around you makes the effort well worth it. If you're short on time or don't want to take on a longer hike, there's another option on the other side of the domes called Walpa Gorge. It's a much shorter 2.6 kilometer return walk that takes you between two massive domes, following a natural gorge all the way to the end before turning back. If you're traveling with a family here, then this is definitely the path to take. Now we've reached one of the landmark sections of the trail known as Karingana Lookout, which offers breathtaking views from above. This area is culturally sensitive, so filming isn't permitted here. Similar to the Uluru base walk, there were also restricted camera areas here, so be sure to look out for signage and respect the land by following those guidelines. That said, as you can tell from the footage we captured, most of the area is still filmable, and you can get some truly stunning shots throughout the walk. What we've noticed about Kata Tjuta and our whole trip in general is just how well maintained and organised each trail is. It's a real credit to the park rangers who keep everything in such great condition despite it being a major tourist hotspot. Towards the end of the trail, we reached a flooded section. We're not sure if this is usual or just due to the recent rain, but we had to take our shoes off and carefully wade through the shallow water and pebbled rocks to continue and finish the walk. After completing the Valley of the Winds walk, we drove back to the Yulara town centre to have some lunch. Compared to the previous day, the town was noticeably drier and much more settled in condition. This moment also gave us a better chance to explore the town without having to worry about the rain. And although it was too late, we noticed that the town actually sells fly nets, which are a must-have for the next trip. After lunch, we headed to the airport to set off, bringing an end to an amazing 3 days in the Australian Outback. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more travel adventures around the world.